Hey guys, so this week's theme is Draw My Life. I'm going to try my best to do that for you. I'm not an artist, so we'll see how this goes. Also, the mic is bad quality, so sorry. Anyway, we're going to start right at the beginning. I was born on September 11th of 1999, so I can still say that I'm a 90s kid. I had only one sibling at the time, which was my older brother, who was 1.5 years old when I was born. He was like my best friend, and I always looked up to him. I remember when we were little, he would always give me toys and take care of me, so I never had to learn to walk until later on. We moved to a different part of the city when I was almost 3 years old. I don't remember much about my old house, other than we had a bunch of raspberry bushes in our yard, and we'd go out there sometimes and just eat them. We moved to our new house not even a week after we settled in. I got a little sister, only 9 days before I turned 3. I don't remember very much in between here and when my other sister was born, but one of my most fond memories was when we went for a walk by our house, and there was this big pile of dirt. My sister and I climbed it. It was our castle. I was quite the tomboy when I was younger. Also, around this time, I started doing gymnastics. Our family was always really close, and we did pretty much everything together. By the time I was 7 years old, my mom told me I was going to get yet another sibling. The next 1.5 years are kind of a blur, but I remember we used to go out and drive our bikes through puddles to make big splashes, and we thought it was the coolest thing ever. At this point, I was told I was getting yet another sibling. Quick side story, I remember sometime around when my fourth sibling was born, we got a cable TV. The only show I really remember watching was Word Girl. I remember around this time we got a Game Boy Advance. We even had this Brother Bear game for it. 2 years later, my other sister was born. I remember one time we had many guests and I thought she was the most adorable thing ever, but my sister, who was the second youngest, was jealous, so she went out and stood in the other room. I remember going over and trying to comfort her. To cut a long story short, she was fine. For my brother's 10th birthday, he got a DS. Not one of those fancy DSIs, but he got the old one. I was so jealous, and I think I even cried. You gotta remember, I was only 8.5. My brother got a DSi when he was 11, and he decided he would give me his old DS. So I had my own DS. I was so excited, but then I broke it. I decided putting a penny in the back was a great idea. I told my grandma, and for my 10th birthday, she got me a new DS. I was super careful with it, but I still managed to break it, of course. Anyways, I was still doing gymnastics at the time, and I was the youngest at this point. I remember all of my friends had passed to the next level, and I was still stuck in silver. It turned out I didn't do gymnastics on the night I was normally doing it, so we switched nights. This time, though, I was the oldest at 12, and all the other kids were younger than I was. They all thought I was the coolest kid, like, ever. Except for this one girl. She was always a little mean to me, but I'll never know why. I quit gymnastics just last year, deciding I wasn't as passionate about it as I used to be. And then there's now. I'm just a 13-year-old girl who has a lot left of her life to live. But one thing I've learned from my 13 years is to always be yourself, and remember, you are who you are. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and be sure to come back the next day, to see all the other girls Draw My Life videos. I love you guys. Bye!